What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. Let's talk about it. Do me a favor, though. It's free to you, but it means a lot to me. You can hit that like button, and if you're new watching this, hit the subscribe. I just wanted to jump on the mic, and I've been, looking at the news. That French Montana video shoot got shot up, and I just been thinking, like, the reality is this: the world is not the world is not a pretty place. The world is screwed up. And, I can come on here and talk positivity all day, but to be honest with you, it's some stuff that I'm leaving out. You know, I mention it, I hint on it, but even to maintain a positive mindset, you have to understand the negative mindset. And because any too much of anything is not good, even positivity, because you can be positive all day and everything you do be positive, and somebody will take your kindness for weakness. Somebody go um, take advantage of it, and that's just the reality. And to be honest with you, the reason I can be so positive is because I understand the negative part too. A lot of times you hear the stories I tell, I know what I know because I used to do it, you know. So to be honest with you, what I'm telling you is the reason I'm gonna be, I can be so positive is because I'm comfortable. And when I say I'm comfortable, meaning that if anything come my way, I'm comfortable enough to know I can handle it. So, like looking at that French Montana shooting, they should have knew better. You live in a certain type of lifestyle, and you think because you got money and security around, people won't touch you. That's not true. And you see, they fired over 100 shots. This wasn't some dudes rolling up with some handguns. No, they came prepared. They came ready for war because they knew he was going to have security there. Like, I don't advocate the street life, but I tell you this, it gave me so much understanding and wisdom, and I still use it to the day. I still fall back on a lot of experiences that I had in the street to just deal with business. And as far as, like I said, I feel comfortable enough to understand if anything come my way, I can handle it mentally, but physically also. So I gotta give you the other half of it. I think it's only fair. Because sometimes doing what's considered evil is necessary, especially when it comes to the preservation of you and your family. You might have to defend yourself, and then defending yourself, we see it every day. Everyday people minding their business, and somebody try to take something, rob them, or even take their life, and they defend themselves, and they have to take another person's life. You know, but being prepared. I like I said, I can come on here all day and speak positivity, but I always say I'm not naive. So why not talk about um, the portion of being prepared? I feel like when you say self-defense, people taking self-defense classes and, you know, taking classes so they can carry the concealed weapon, I think that's necessary. I think it's necessary because just learning how to handle yourself, or protect yourself, should I say, will give you the confidence to do all the other stuff, to have fun, to go out and enjoy life. I feel I can go anywhere because in any situation, if I can't see it, if it happened, then I can handle it when it go down. And that's just the confidence of the skills I acquired over the years help me with. Like I said, I'm trained with firearms. I'm trained hand to hand combat with knives. I work a katana. I can handle myself, so it's easy for me to walk away from situations. And if I can't walk away, I'm confident enough to know I can end it. But that's what helps me. That's what helps me not look at the world so bad. Me having that confidence that I can handle myself allows me to look at the world and see the positive things in it. And like I said, I'm not naive. I know there's negative things in it, but the confidence in me being able to handle myself gives me the ability not to be afraid of all the negative things in the world. And I can go forward focusing on the positive things because I know I have the wisdom and knowledge if the negative things do come into play, then I can handle myself. I'm an advocate of, like I said, I'm an advocate of people going to get their CPL or CDL. I mean, whatever your carry concealed weapon permit is called in your state. I am a true advocate of that because, like I said, if anything, you even the playing field. I'm not saying go carry a gun or keep a gun to hurt anyone, but what I am telling you is if something go down and you have a weapon too, you even your chances in surviving. If something go down and you got to handle yourself with hand to hand combat and you train, then you even or you make your chances of surviving even greater. I tell women, um, especially in my family, I always tell them self defense is not a luxury; it's a necessity. This is something that we should be teaching all our kids on how to defend themselves because the reality is they eventually they will be tested. You will encounter conflict in life if it's physically or mentally, so you should be prepared. Just like we talk about being mentally prepared or changing the way we think, especially in kids. You get them in a martial arts. I would prefer boxing. You get them in that builds confidence in them too. And let's be honest, usually those aren't the kids that get bullied, but we look at it as a luxury when it should be a necessity. I'm not saying going to get your CPL or gun license is necessary, but I'm telling you, learning some form of self defense, learning how to handle yourself, that's a necessity. But we view it as a luxury, you know, because like I said, not only does it build confidence when you encounter a conflict, it makes you more aware too. It gives you the understanding or the perspective of seeing danger before it comes. So it heightens your awareness, and it humbles you. It humbled me rather. I can't speak for everybody because I know people who learn martial arts and just thought they was Jet Li or Bruce Lee now and wanted to take on the world. But generally, I say it humbles you, and it once you understand that you can hurt someone, is you less likely to do it if you don't have to. So that's why I can walk away from things. And always use that famous quote in my head: "Father, they do, they know not what they do," because most people don't know, and that's another reason I don't bother people because I don't know what they know. I know what I know, but I don't know what they know. So, and I ain't trying to find out if I ain't got to. So I think self defense is a necessity, and having some street smarts. And you ain't got to go on the street and get it. You can learn. A lot of us watch these movies. Instead of looking at it as entertainment, look at it as a learning experience. Because a lot of those gangster or hood movies, they got a lot of truth to them on how things are. There's a lot of fiction, but it is some truth. Like when you're on the street, I tell people like not only did I have to worry about the cops, I had to worry about what they call the ops now. But I even had to worry about the people I was with when I wasn't with my family. Like when I went outside my family, I had to watch them. Sometimes you gotta even watch your family. And like I said, if you have these skills, if you have this awareness, it's easier to interact with people freely because you have the confidence to understand or see things before it happens. I mean, if you don't have that experience, if you don't have that wisdom or the knowledge, and you do get taken advantage of, a lot of times people shell up. They build barriers and boundaries because the only thing they know is they've been hurt and they don't want to feel that pain no more. But in my opinion, from my own personal experience, when it happens to me, if somebody get close enough to hurt me or bamboozle me, I'm able to see where it happened and why it went wrong and move forward. It doesn't prevent or stop me from dealing with other people. I got boundaries, but I don't live with no barriers. I break barriers. That's how I live my life. I break limitations. I break barriers. Is I guess me understanding how to handle myself physically translated. Some of that translated into my mental thought, the way I think now. Because, like I said, I have the confidence. The experiences that I had. I look at situations, right? Like I said, that French Montana. Like, even though you got security and you got all this money, you felt so safe that you went live, shared your location. If you was a real street dude, you'll never do that. Even to this day, when I go on vacation, I don't post where I'm at until I get home. When we go out to eat, I told my wife, don't post that till we get home. She like, why? My wife ain't from the street, so she don't understand. Oh, why you don't want me to post this now? Well, we here. Okay, no, I don't want people to know we're here until we go. Why not? Because you never know. I ain't been in the street in over 15 years. People hold grudges though. It's just bitter people out there. And I'm not slow to that. Or even this. I'm at a restaurant. She posting we at a restaurant. That's telling people we ain't home. And even though I got security cameras and alarms or whatever, they still can break into my house. That stuff, if somebody wants something, things are only there to slow them down. It ain't to stop them, you know. But I'm conscious of that. So, no, we don't post nothing until we get home. So, we back in our castle and we safe. Then you can post whatever you want. And it took her a while to understand that. When me and her first started dating, we was chilling in the parking lot. And we sitting there talking. And I seen a guy riding up I was sitting in her truck, drove up to the driver. I mean, he pulled up to the driver's side of her car, and she rolled her window down. And when she rolled her window down, I upped on him, scared the crap out of her, scared him too. He stepped back. He said, "Well, I didn't even know he was in the car," and rode his bike. And I'm like, "Why would you let the window down? It's dark." Well, he tapped on the window. You can't do that. I said he didn't have no good intentions because even if he seen the gun, he would have said, I'm not. I was just asking. No, he had bad intention. He literally seen me with the gun and pulled off. 2 days later, we looking at the news. Somebody had robbed at the same store in the parking lot. I don't know if it was the guy, but what I'm telling you, stuff happens, and you have to be ready and aware. So and like I said, I don't know if that guy what his intentions was, but this is what I do know: there's no point in taking a chance. I mean, I just feel like why would you roll up to somebody's car in the middle of the night, knocking on their window? You ain't announce yourself. You ain't wave before you got there. Why you leaning your head into the car? He damn near put his forehead on the barrel of the gun, leaning into the car. And she asked me, "Would you have pulled the trigger?" Like, yeah. I'm gonna get judged by 12 before carried by 6. You got me bent. You know, I mean, like I said, I can be positive. I can go out and produce positivity and talk positivity because it's not that I'm afraid of the negative. I'm just aware and I'm ready. You always have to. You always have to be aware, no matter where you at, even at home. You got to be aware of your surroundings. Anything can happen anywhere at any time. And it's better to be ready and it never happened to be unprepared and it does. And like I said, being ready is not being paranoid, it's not being afraid. It's actually building confidence. And it's good. It's good to know how to handle yourself with your hands. It's good to understand how to handle a weapon if needed. It's a tool. And that's how it should be looked at and it should be viewed as a tool. But we use the term weapon. And when we use that, I think, they get a bad rap. But just like a hammer, just like a fork or a spoon, a gun is a tool. It's there to preserve your life if need be. And that's it. It's not there to flaunt around or play with. It's not there to get advantage in the argument. It's not there to put fear in other people. That's not what a gun is for. A gun is there to preserve your life if needed. I grew up. I grew up around guns. I fired a 22 when I was 4 years old. I shot a calico when I was 6. When I turned 8, I shot my first shotgun. I've been around guns ever since I was a little But I was raised to understand that they're tools, not weapons. Ain't nothing to play with. Just like you don't play with a knife. Just like you don't play with a hammer. You use it for what it is, for the necessities, and you store it when you're not using it. Yeah, there's no reason the people should have got shot last night. There's no reason. If people would have been aware, like I said, I don't. You in a strange hood. Even if you in your own hood, you know people don't like you. Why would you share your location? Why would you go live and show people where you at? Yeah, is it the ego? You want to show you outside? You a millionaire, bro. You ain't outside. You ain't outside, bro. You ain't in the street. You're a millionaire. Ain't no millionaires outside in the street. Like half of these rappers, and I say half because some of them really are in the street. They just ain't top tier rappers. They the local rappers, the up and coming rappers. But the ones we see on TV with all the jewelry and stuff, they ain't living that life. And half of them probably never did because you can tell by the way they walk and talk. Even on YouTube, you can tell a street dude who been through some stuff. There's two ways to tell. Either he still get that same mentality and he still really like that, or he wisened up. It's two type of street dudes to come on here. Either they wisen up and talking against it, or they still trying to live it. But you can tell the ones who really did stuff, and because they smart enough not to say certain things and do certain things, they still got that understanding and wisdom because they don't do it in the street. Ain't no real hitter go come and tell you what they gonna do to you, especially on video. They ain't about to tell you that. They ain't about to self incriminate. All these young boys who doing it now, that's why when they get that time, they cry. Because they doing it for clout. They not really like that. When you're on the street, the whole goal is to get away with the crime. That's the whole goal, is to get away. Not to get caught and go to jail and brag about, no. I've never been to jail. Well, I've been to jail. I've never been to prison. And, my records got expunged. So I guess technically on record, I've never been to jail. But I've never been to prison. And when I hear people brag about being in prison, like brag, not telling you, like, this is how it is, it's messed up, you don't want to be there. Not those people, not the people who coming out telling you not to do the dumb shit to go there because it's not a place for you. I'm talking about the people who brag about it. Yeah, I've been in prison, I did this, I did that. Like, bro, you got caught. You got caught. You lost. You wasn't good at what you did because you went to jail. Even if someone snitched on you, I was told from a young age, never bring a witness with you. So anything I ever did, I had to do it on my own. And then also I was told if you do something, don't talk about it. Because I'm pretty sure we all heard, or personally it could have happened to you where you got away with something somebody else didn't, and they told on you because they got caught. But who fault is that? Is it their fault for telling or your fault for letting them know what you did? In life, we all have different ways to perceptions, different ways we look at stuff. And I'm human. I'm human, and I do my best not to judge people. I do it in my head. I ain't gonna lie. I judge people in my head, but I never do it out loud because I don't want it done to me. To be honest with you, I don't want it done to me. That's why I don't do it to other people. Like I said, I do it in my head. I might even talk to my wife, but I keep my opinions to myself because a lot of times, if people's opinions aren't constructive, inspiring, or uplifting, I don't really care for them. I don't care to hear them. So I literally do my best to treat people the way I want to be treated because I like dealing with me in real life. You have to treat me a certain way for me to even deal with you. On here it's just space. So I mean, I see some of the stuff that's done on here, and I ain't gonna say because of all this space, this cyberspace, that you safe because you're not, because people still expose people's personal information and stuff like that on here. So I mean, that can be annoying, because you don't know what sick person can get their hands on that and what they can do with it. There's some sick people out here in the world. There's some really sick people, and given the opportunity, they'll show you how sick they are. Just like that man who did that subway shooting. He just went shooting people for what? I was looking for you all day. Nah, you ain't late. You here. I just wanted to make sure you was good. I just wanted to make sure you was good. I'm talking a little dark today though, but I'm telling the other side of why I can be so positive is because I'm prepared. I prepared myself mentally and physically for negative things. And I think that's what gives me the confidence to be so positive. I was talking about learning self defense and how that can actually strengthen your mind, give you the confidence. And me knowing that I can handle myself with my hands physically gives me the confidence of walking away from things because I understand the damage that I can do. And it's humbling. When like I used to spar a lot. And like I said, I used to like choking people out because it felt like I had power. Like I'm choking this person until they go to sleep. And then when I realized like you can really hurt somebody like this, like you can take a person's life doing this move, it humbled me. And a lot of times when I like now if I get into a disagreement, I'm quick to walk away because I understand what I can do. And sometimes I don't know what the other person can do. But I'm humble enough to walk away because I know I can handle myself. And even mentally, I overcame some dark days. I overcame some dark times. And by doing that, that strengthened me mentally. You know what? Per I'm happy I can I mean that humbled me last night. It made me um it made me feel good that I can and touch someone to the point where I actually had a positive influence. Because that's why I come on here and talk. I come on here and talk, hoping I can reach someone. Because that's what I mean. Even you conversating with me, that's what you do for me. This is therapeutic because it's like I feel like I'm putting positivity into the world doing this. I feel like I said, I didn't. My past is my past. I learned a lot from it, but I didn't inject a lot of positivity into the world. I didn't. I hurt people. I regret a lot of things I did, but like I said, I learned from it. So I learned what not to do, and now I'm doing the opposite, and it feels good. You know, it feels good, and like I said, I don't have a popular channel or a lot of subs, but like I said, if I can touch the heart of one person, then I feel like I'm on the right path. I'm doing the right thing because there was so many people on my path, on my journey, that helped me, and like literally three of them told me to just play it forward. You know, we teaching you, we grooming you for you to do what we do. And those men, I'm talking about. They saved. I'm not gonna say they saved my life, but they did because without them spending the time giving me the information, I wouldn't look at life the way I do, and I wouldn't have found the things in life that I found to help me. I would have still been going down the same path, and like I said, I mean, even like getting out of high school, um, and in high school, I buried 13 of my friends in high school from ninth to 12th grade. 13 before we even turned 18. 13 of my friends died. I was lucky because a lot of those situations they were in, I was there. I just left. Like my intuition, like I said, I know I'm here for a reason because I always listen to that intuition. When I got that gut feeling telling me to get out of there or leave, I always did it. And it was a couple times people thought I was the cause of the situation because I left before it happened. Like, no, I told you I didn't feel right. I tried to tell everybody, let's go. But people want to have fun and party. I mean, I just always follow my intuition. And that's like even me being humble enough to listen because, it's I grew up in Detroit and two of the men that mentor me now, they white men. And, growing up black in the hood, it's like a stigma for you to trust a white person. But I was always humble enough to listen to them. And if I didn't, like I said, I wouldn't be where I'm at because they exposed me to so much, taught me so much, helped me so much. And these were white men. And that's why I tell people about race. Like race, if you really think about it, I look at it like this. Look at it as flowers. If you look, it's a whole bunch of beautiful colored flowers. How boring would it be if it was only red roses, only red tulips? God, the creator, gave us a variety of things in nature, just like he gave us a variety of human beings. And in my opinion, there's two types of human beings. They're either good or bad. But good and bad comes in all shapes and colors. All black people ain't good, all white people ain't bad. It just is what it is. And we the more we fail to understand that, the worse we hurt. The worse we hurt. And I understand history. I study it. I study history. And even in history, all white people wasn't bad because it was white people who helped the Underground Railroad, helped the slaves get away. So I mean, I can only personally speak from a black experience, but even my family, my wife Middle Eastern. I got like two of my cousins. They marry white women. I got Filipino people in my family. We mutts. I got Native Americans. My mother's father is 100% what they call Blackfoot. That's my mother's father. my dad's great grandmother, my dad's grandmother was Cherokee. So I mean, I'm a mutt. So when it come to race, I believe, like I said, in two type of people, good or bad, and they come in all shapes and colors. And the trick is to keep us away from each other. Yeah, and see, and you know what? That's something that's taught. Um, like I said, that's something that's taught, just like politics. I know people like I ain't gonna say it because she gonna kill me, but I know people who will not be in rooms with Republicans. They do not, no matter what this person accomplished in life, no matter how good of a person, if you're a Republican, she will not deal with you at all. So I truly believe all these categories are there to keep people separated, keep people arguing and bickering. I mean, I understand, classification and identification, but the way it's taught to separate. It's like you have to fit into, like me as a black person, I have to fit into these parameters that define black. Like, come on now, man. Like me personally, I listen to classical music. I don't know, you probably can tell by my demeanor, but I like Chopin. I like Beethoven. I listen to Mozart. Um, I'm a big advocate of classical music, and I love rock and roll. I like heavy metal. I got two guitars. I don't know how to play them, but I got them. It's a lot of stuff. I'm like, when I say I'm into the martial arts, I got so deep into the martial arts. I studied Buddhism, Taoism, and Taoism because a lot of the martial arts has principles of the religion. So I got into the religions to understand the art. Yes, yes. The more we separate it. I mean, think about it. Um, when you separate things, it's easier, like you said, to control. It's just a lot easier to control things when they separate it, and really when they arguing and bickering, you can get away with a lot of other stuff too. When people arguing and bickering, the you can pull the sheet right over their head, and they won't see what you're doing because they're too busy. That's why is conspiracy theories. They always say when the news promotes something or keep playing something big about to happen because they're distracting you. They're doing the sleight of hand tricks. It's some crazy bill getting wrote, somebody getting out of prison. There's something crazy happening when the news promote one story. And I say conspiracy theories, but I think it's truth to that. Like the whole. I ain't even gonna get into that because I didn't put fair use or nothing like that in there, and I don't want to get into conspiracy theories. I like to talk about factual things, but it's things that's done right under our noses we don't know. Like I know you in Australia, but I tell people to really look at the Patriot Act. Look what you gave up. You have no more freedom. Once that bill was signed and passed, your freedom was gone. Because even as an American citizen, they can tag you as a terrorist, and they can use the same laws that they would use on someone who they thought was a terrorist or a United States citizen now. Meaning they can tap you without a court order just because they think. They don't need facts. They don't need evidence. They can just think, well, he looked like a terrorist. Let's tap his phone. You gave up your freedom. It's like if you ask people who studied the Boston Tea Party, they, you hear people tell you they did all that so they wouldn't be noticed taking the gold out of out of the United States, Fort Knox. They'll tell you, if you talk to historians, they'll tell you the Boston Tea Party was thrown. So while everybody was looking at that going down, they was taking the gold out of Fort Knox. Because a couple days later, you went from that say, like I said, I'm not even gonna talk about that. That's research that got to be shown. But best way to separate people is to give them categories. Even religion, you have people arguing over religion. A belief system. Whose belief system is better than whose. And while you arguing over that, you forgetting that y'all both, no matter what y'all believe in, y'all both suffering from the same issues. But now you're distracted because you're talking about who believes in who versus let's come together and fix this problem. Same thing with race. In my opinion, to end racism, end race. I mean, you can identify as whatever you want, but at the end of the day, you're human. If you can reproduce, if you bleed, if you die from the same diseases, you're the same. You just got different pigment. And I understand the historical aspects. I understand all that. And I think every person should have pride in who they are and where they come from. Yeah, you should. But just because I'm one thing, I don't feel like my life is more valuable than someone else's. It's more valuable to me, but I just don't feel like my life is more valuable than someone else's. Of course, it's going to be more valuable to me, but I'm just saying in general, I'm not over someone because of my race. I'm not over someone because of my education. I'm not over someone because my material, the things I obtain, the material things, that don't make me better than someone. What makes me feel like I'm better than someone if I can treat people better. The only time you'll ever catch me saying I'm better than that person is through my actions, what I do. If I'm out here being positive, helping people, and somebody out here causing chaos and destruction, of course, yeah, I'm gonna feel like I'm better than them. And I don't care if they rich, I don't care if they're intelligent, I don't care what they are. If I'm out here doing positive things in this world, helping and building with people, and you out here causing chaos, I know I'm better than you because I'm adding, I'm not subtracting. But anything else, just because I might have more education than someone, or just because I have more material than someone, I don't feel like I'm better than them. And that's sad. That's sad that we even look at each other like that. We all on the same rock. We all on the same floating ball. We can continue to compete and try to harm one another and try to take from one another, or we can build. It's been proven there's enough land on this earth for everyone to be comfortable. There's enough resources on this earth for everyone to be comfortable. But yet we fight wars over resources, fight wars over land, like it ain't enough for everyone to be comfortable. I never understood why. I guess I do understand why we go to wars because, like I said, it's mainly for resources and land. I just never understood why take instead of barter, if anything. Why not just it had to be one time in history, human history, where we all got along. It had to be. I don't know. I wasn't here at the beginning, but it's just hard to think that this world has always been as violent as it is. It's hard to believe that at some point we wasn't all at peace. It's really hard to think that. But when you look through history, that's all you see is war. That's all you see is war. And we glorify it. We celebrate that. All the stuff that exactly one love, one heart. Yeah, people. And see, like in my opinion, even like I don't want to be no conspiracy theorist, but I believe they killed that man too. Because people like that who have impacts on people, they don't stay here long. Once the wrong people start seeing that people make an impact, like Bob Marley, even like Michael Jackson. If you listen to his music, I mean, they I don't know if he did anything they said he did. I don't know, but I know this. His music touched the hearts of people, and not only did it touch the hearts of people, it brought people together. Michael Jackson had an influence. Prince had an influence, and the way they died, I don't know. Yeah, biggest money, and see that and see that even my understanding of money is different. You know, money was created. Even when it was created to take advantage of people. That's why money was created because one group of people didn't have the resources that another group of people had. So they created money and basically tricked them to giving them something that was worth nothing for something that you can actually use. And that trick has been going on ever since. So yeah, that whole money thing, the concept of money, it's deep. Like I was with a group of people who taught me that, and I'm like, oh, like it blew my mind. Like when they was literally teaching me the history of money, and no one's seen it the way I seen it until I said it, and I'm like, so they just basically bamboozled this group of people because they didn't have the skills or the resources to trade with them. So they created something and convinced them that it was valuable. And people still do that to this day, you know, even if it's not money, if it's certain material thing. Like, think about this. That's what I try to tell people. And this is just the way my head works, right? You get a t shirt, you put Louis Vuitton on it. You can sell that t shirt for $1,000, right? You get the same t shirt and don't put nothing on it, and you sell it for $5. So the tag and the symbol you put on it makes this same shirt that's worth $5, $1,000. That don't make sense to me. But people do it. They would spend all this money on these material things that's really not worth half of what it don't even cost half of what you're paying for it to make. But they hike the prices up because they know people are willing to pay for a name. And then, like, why would you just pay for somebody else's name? Why not you, like, with the technology, make your own clothes, make your own brand, wear your own name. I mean, that's just how my brain works. That makes more sense. Had to be soil, yep. And create, you know what? Like I said, I don't believe. I believe everybody makes mistakes in life, but the stuff they said he did, I don't believe he did that. I really don't. I mean, they never really proved it anyway, but they drug him through the mud, and they don't need to prove it. They just need people to think it. And as long as people think it, then, like you said, it messed up his image. And that even caused I knew people who didn't like me because I liked Michael Jackson. Like I got in arguments with people because I like Michael Jackson. And so, yep, and Kanye, like this, what I'm saying. Like even the whole thing with Kanye, I just truly believe that people should be able. I believe people should be able to express themselves and say what they want to say as long as it doesn't put people in danger or hurts a person's image to the point where they can't get a job or make money. I don't think they should do that. But I think I should be able to share my opinion, you know. I think I should be able to say if I feel like a certain community runs the music industry and if they run it, then they determine what type of music get put out. I think I should be able to say that. I don't see how that's bad. That's my opinion. That's my observation. Because if I ran a music company, then and I'm in charge of what's being released, that's just what it is. You know, if I run a bank, if I own a bank and I determine who gets loans and who don't, that's just what it is. But see, that's why I say they silence you. Even Kanye, that I'm gonna do a video on why people should look to be innovators versus entertainers because I think it's sad how Kanye accomplished so much as far as like being a fashion designer. Um, he's not only an entertainer, he does other a businessman. But when they talk about Kanye, they always say rapper. They downplay everything else he do and put him in the categories of entertainment. Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, everybody got. I don't. You know what? Like with you, I think everybody has mental issues. I can promise you, almost everybody on this planet suffers from at least two to three of the conditions of PTSD. I can guarantee you that. There are at least two or three of the symptoms of PTSD. Everyone has trauma, especially unchecked trauma. You know, I'm still finding things that traumatized me when I was a kid. I'm still discovering things that affected me. You know, so I truly believe everyone has trauma. I wanted to do this from my let me see if I can do it from here. No, I can't do it from StreamYard. I'm trying to see how I gotta like your page. Hold on, I can do it from my phone. But yeah, I think and you know, like I said, I think everybody has some type of, you know, mental issue or like I said, a lot of people suffer from at least two to three of the symptoms from PTSD. I think everybody do. I mean, I haven't met one person who hasn't been through a traumatic experience in life, and even the death of someone that could be traumatic to people. Um, but what Kanye, his deep truths, he definitely spoke. Now, do he talk too much? Yes, he does. He talks too much. It's just some things that does not. There's some things you shouldn't say because just don't work in your favor, especially at certain times. And and I think a lot of times he spoke the truth just at the wrong time. You know, I think he said the things. I mean, in the wrong. I say it like this. He said it to the wrong audience. You know, some things shouldn't be shared with everybody. Some of your thoughts that's in your head, it shouldn't be shared with everybody. sometimes those thoughts are there just for you to keep. I learned that the hard way. You can't share what's in your head with everybody. Even like when I come on here and I'm just talking, like this is the random thoughts when I just talk about whatever's on my mind. It's some things I got to keep sealed up. So and he old enough and grown enough and should have enough experience to know that you just don't enough experience to know that. Let me see. Okay, so I should be able to do it now. But yeah, yay, definitely. And I gotta put my phone on here to see the comments while I'm doing this. But yeah, definitely. But you know what too? I mean, I think that sometimes people sacrifice themselves, for the better good of humanity. It just depends if who's listening to it, because a lot of stuff he said, I mean, it's been proven factual. A lot of stuff he said is not popular to say, but the more people who understand it, the more people who can actually come out and speak on it too. Because like some secrets they want to keep secrets. So I mean, they do things to make sure those secrets stay secret. And we're listening to, yes, yeah. I think I mean, the recent stuff. Like when he was talking about the record industry, and I think he should have spoke up on that. But the other stuff, like bro, like it's just like I study World War II, so I understand a lot of stuff. I understand the way he was trying. I understand what he was trying to say, but you don't. That's why I say you have to be well versed in language and word selection to talk about certain topics. Because if you're not, you'll have what's happening to Whoopi Goldberg. Um, she got to apologize again. But this is the sad thing, and to be honest, now I would say this: I don't think it's fair for people to talk about slavery nonchalant or compare it to the Holocaust, because you're talking about something that happened for over 400 years versus something that happened 12. I don't think that's fair for anyone to be able to compare those two. And then also, a lot of messed up stuff was done in the Holocaust, a lot of evil things, but the people still had their language and their identity. In slavery, that was taken, and you was given a whole new identity. So now people don't even know who they are. That's why I say I don't think it's fair to compare those two. I don't think that should be done, and I don't think um, people should downplay what happened in slavery. I don't think they should downplay that, because to say, I mean, I've had people tell me just get over it, and it's like it happened so long ago. But then you see the injustices that happen to other people, and we can talk about it forever. I don't think that's fair. But like I tell people, life ain't fair, and I understand it, and I understand why. I understand why it's done like that. So, um, but yeah, he shouldn't have said. I don't. I try not to talk about things that don't affect me personally. And like I tell people, like my people went through something different, so I can speak on that, but I can't speak on the Holocaust because the only thing I can do is read. You know, my family didn't go through that, so I don't know the experiences. So only thing that I know, it was a great evil done on a group of people. You know, that's what I mean. So I don't speak on. Um, yeah, he was 100% the war topic. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he need that. He need a strong woman by him. You know, to tell him like, hey, shut up. You know, someone who can kind of pull him. And I'm not sure Kim K was ever that, but he didn't talk like this when he was with her. You know, so I mean, I don't. I mean, being smart is understanding when to talk and when not to talk. That's the sign of intelligence. When to speak and when not to speak. That's what one of my mentors told me. One of the true signs of intelligence is understanding when to talk and when to shut up. That's what I was told. So, uh, yeah, he. But you know what? I mean, you push a person. You know, when you push a person, that's what happens. You know, you don't know how a wounded animal will react. Some of them just lay down, but some of them keep swinging. And that's what I think he doing. He a wounded animal. They took. He was a billionaire. I don't know how that feels, you know, to be a billionaire and then a day later I'm down to 400 million. I mean, it sounds crazy to me because I never had that much money in my life. Probably never see that much, but I'm pretty sure. Like, I just know how I feel when I get that call from my bank saying somebody just spent $200 in 4 states over with my card. Like, hold on, $200 going on my account. They did what? I know how that feeling feel. So I can only imagine if it was billions. You know, if I had a billion in there and then cut me down to 400, I might go a little off my mind too. I might say some hurtful things to people too. Like I said, I don't judge them. I just look at it like, bruh, you need to help yourself. That's how I look at it. Like, help yourself, bro, and not speak. You don't have to speak on everything. And that's like everything I see on here. I don't speak on. I don't speak on everything I see on YouTube. I want to. I got an opinion about it, but it's like it's not fruitful. Because somebody can take something the wrong way, and now I'm in the beef. I'm straight. I'd rather just stay out of it and talk about the things I talk about. I'll be wanting to do reactions and break down people videos and stuff, but you never know how a person might take something, and they might take offense to it. If the wrong person take offense to it, now your family on the internet, your history on the internet, and like I don't really care because it ain't nothing for me to be ashamed of. But it's just it's a violation still. Anytime somebody do something like that, even if your record clean and you ain't got nothing to hide, you still been violated. Oh, she hungry. The baby cluster feeding. I ain't go to sleep until 8 o'clock this morning because the baby cluster feeding. And then like my wife is, she blessed in the breast, I call it. So sometimes, like when I'm hearing her feeding the baby, I'd be like, "Don't smother my baby." Like, nah, it's not because, like I said, it's so hard. It's hard in itself to navigate through everyday life outside of YouTube and stay away from negativity. And like on these apps, I had to learn, like, even, like I like watching people videos and I like going around supporting a lot of different people. And, some of the people that I do, I enjoy their content. I watch it. But like when they going at somebody, I just sit back, I'll watch it for a minute, hit the like button, and then I go out, because that's not really what, that's not what I'm into, and Like you can type something in the chat, just saying hello. The wrong person see it. Oh, you support them doing this to me. You support them doing like no. I was just saying how, But that's just how it is. That's what I was talking about. Like having street smarts. I think that helped me. Even now. Just having street smart is helping me on YouTube. Understanding how to navigate through the real street, it help you navigate through on here. You see what they call the play. Like I understand gaslighting. People do that a lot on here. There's a lot of stuff that I see on here. Like, oh man, and it'd be like a soap opera sometimes. I be watching like people interact because I'd be like, I can figure out what's gonna happen before it happens, and I'll just be sitting back like, man, don't do it, don't fall for it. But then you tell somebody, then you hate and all. So that's why I say I just sit back and I guess watch the show. But like I said, I try not to put too much because it was one like even when I come on here, like I didn't really know all this stuff was real. Like I thought like hitting somebody link, I thought it was like almost like a show. Like these people knew each other, and I didn't know people were like was really interacting on here like a virtual world. So when I first started watching this like a year ago, like watching people live, like I said, I thought it was a show, and I never typed in there. I used to just look at the comments like, oh wow, people going hitting links, and then when I found out like, oh, anybody can do this, I still looked at it as entertainment. I just thought it was entertainment. So I used to crack jokes in there, and one content creator told me like, no, this is real. Like this person is really like that, and the more fuel you give them, the more fire they produce. Basically, they didn't say those exact words, but that's basically what they say. The more you in the chat doing this, doing that, the more energy you give them. And then also now you're including yourself into it. And then I took a step back and was watching it, looking like, damn, that's right. Because it's like if you watching a movie, and a bad guy in the movie, and they just did some crazy stuff in this movie. Then you go watch another movie, and it's a romantic movie, and that same bad guy, you're rooting against them because of what they did in the previous movie. And I found myself doing that, like, oh yeah, that person like this because I watched this person, and I was like, oh, okay, no, I got to step back. This is yeah, is influencing me the wrong way. This is not really um like this is like the street for real. Like this is reality. This YouTube thing in these different sectors. This is really reality TV because like these people really be getting into it. Like in real life, like stuff can start on YouTube and can come off of YouTube. I mean, I done heard different creators talking about scheduling fights. Like I said, people putting people information on there like it's real. Like this is like this shit get real quick, and it's like I don't do that in real life. Like I just don't go up and down the street being angry and finding trouble to get into. So I'm not gonna do it on here. I'm gonna try to stay away from it as much as I can. So I mean it's but like I said, then you build friendships on here. You build rapport with people. And now because you cool with this person, you can't get caught in someone's chat that don't get along with this person or you betray. And I'm like, hold on, man. It's like high school again, right? Like, okay, because I don't know. But this is what I learned too. You never take sides, right? If you got two friends arguing, you don't take neither one of their side because the person's side who you don't take, if those friends get back cool, that person always gonna remember you took the other person's side. I learned that, I learned that the hard way too. Because I was the person who didn't forget. I was that person like, okay, Yeah, me and my homeboy cool again, but you was talking crap too. Me and you didn't resolve our issue because we never had an issue until me and him had an issue. But now we got an issue. But now that me and him cool, now me and you still have an issue. So that's why, like, I never took sides. If it's not, if I can't mediate or come in the middle and resolve it, then I just completely stay out of it. Because, like I said, I don't know. One day down the road, maybe y'all be cool again. I don't know. If y'all not, then you're not. But if you do, then it was me who chose the side. And see, I do that too. I try to see from all sides. And see, that's why I say I don't like I judge in my head. I'm not gonna lie. I will judge people, things, and everything in my head, but I will never say it. Because I just feel like when you judge things, you already decided. And I think things should be seen from all different angles. That way, you can have a better understanding of it. And once you have an understanding of it, you just understand if you can tolerate it or not. You know, that's just how I look at life. And then by me analyzing it, I just got more information, wisdom, knowledge to go forward. Because if I'm ever put in that situation, I understand what can and it can happen. I have some idea now. Now it's familiar to me versus me going through something for the first time and never having no experience with it. That's why I try my best to learn from other people's mistakes. I'm learning that on this YouTube app. It's just in life in general. People always take kindness for weakness. They'll take a humble man and think he's a weak man. And I've just learned that me personally, I never take anyone's kindness for weakness because I know I'm the kindest person on this earth, but I can also be Satan himself. So that's why I know myself, and I know if I'm like that, it's somebody out there bigger and better than me. So a humble man, I leave that man humble. He's humble for a reason. A humble man is always humble for a reason. So I leave people humble. Once I meet a humble person, I don't get on their bad side. And if I start getting on their bad side, I get away from them. I'm straight. Yeah, but people don't. And and Platt, that takes patience too, to be able to look at a situation from all angles. It takes patience because a lot of times people are so quick to rush to judgment. They so quick to rush to a judgment, and when you do that, you don't have the opportunity to understand another person's perspective. Like I don't know what live I told that story on, but I had a when I was younger, I had a friend, and he like I didn't understand why he didn't like he wouldn't deal with black women. No, I don't think I told the story on this platform, on my platform, but he didn't he ain't like black women. Like all growing up. I'm talking about like teenagers, 13, 14, 15. He did not like black women. Always dated white girls. And later on, I asked him when we got older, and I'm like, man, you never, since I know you never dated a black woman. He said, because every time I look at black women, it remind me of my aunt. And I'm like, what that mean? Well, his aunt, raped him. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Did the R word to him. So he didn't. He didn't like black women no more because he said every time that he, you know, tried to get serious with a black woman, it reminded him of his aunt. And even to this day, people say, "Oh, you a traitor of your race" and stuff like that to him, but they don't understand them. They don't understand what happened to him and how it affected him. You know, stuff like that happened to boys too. And it affected him even to this day. His wife is white, but that's he's comfortable, he happy, but that's why. You know, and when people see that, and he don't talk down on black women. He don't talk down on them. He said he'd say, well, even if I wasn't married, I still would never date him. But he never told why. And when he told me that, I was like, I understood. There's something that he dealt with. And he's coping with it the best way he can. I got somebody close to me. She date women because something similar happened to her. She was abused by a man, and she just don't want to deal with men no more. You know, so in understanding that, there's no point in me judging her because I understand it. I understand it to the point where I don't need to judge. I can't understand how she feels because I'm not a woman, and that didn't happen to me as a woman, so I can't possibly understand how she feels. But I can look at her perspective and understand why she chose the lifestyle she did because that's what makes her comfortable. You know, but see, that's why I don't. Like I said, you never know what people been through. So, um, well, no, you know what? I try to. This is my hopes for this channel. I hope people can listen to me in front of their kids. I hope the content that I bring um, will allow a parent to freely listen to me if the kid's in the car or not. So that's why I try to watch my word selection. That's my goal, because I just don't want adults listening to me. I want kids to hear me too, because I think some of the information that I share, if a young child has access to it, especially when I talk about the mindset and how emotions affect um, our way of thinking, and if they can understand that at an early age, I think it'd be helpful. And you know what? This is what I found, and this is just my understanding. Uh, when I sympathize with people, I don't feel like I help them because when I sympathize with them, I become them, and I endure the same emotions that they do. And if I empathize with them, I'm able to look at the situation and hopefully I can find a tool or a solution to help them. So that's why I try to function more from empathy than sympathy, because a lot of times, like I said, when you sympathize with people, you become, or you they say put yourself in their shoes, but that's not what it is. You actually become affected emotionally like they are. And if we function out lower emotions, the decisions we make usually aren't fruitful. If I'm sad or angry, I won't make the best decision. I won't make a better decision than if I'm hopeful and inspired. With those two, I can make better decisions functioning off of those two emotions. So that's why I try not. Yeah, I try to make it you friendly. You see, like right now, like right now, my family sleeps, so I got time to come on here and talk. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to make real content because like right now I'm just coming on. I don't script nothing. I just come on here, hit the button, and talk. But it is topics. Like even when I think of a topic, I have nothing in front of me written down. I literally put the topic in there, and then as I'm talking, I keep looking up to remind me what I'm talking about. So like right now, like my sister sent me some information on how to become a content creator. Because like I said, one of my biggest critics is my sister, and I love her to death because she always pushes me to become a better me. Her, my wife, my mother, mainly all my immediate family, they do. But my sister, the psychologist, um, that's my intellectual sparring buddy. Like she really pushes me to become the best at whatever. If I tell her I'm doing something, she will push me, quiz me, pick my brain about it all day. And when they say steel sharp and steel, that's my steel. That's the one who keeps me sharp. But yeah, I want because I truly believe the kids are the future, and the way I don't know is I know it's way different in Australia because um, y'all don't have gun violence like we do. I know y'all probably still get like um, violence. Y'all probably get gangs and stuff, but the gun violence here is the only word I got for it is sickening. You know, the violence here in general, how life is not as precious as it used to be, and it's scary because, like I said, I got kids, so as long as they with me, I can protect them. But eventually, they go grow up and start exploring the world for themselves, and I can't protect them no more. So the only thing I can do is prepare them. My kids, my son, I started training him how to box since he was standing up, basically. And he started walking. My wife was like, "What are you doing?" I bought him one of them little punching bags. And my son knows how to punch with form. He's 3 years old. He don't swing wild. No, he brings it from the shoulder. My son at 3 years old, he know how to kick too. So I mean, I didn't teach him. I taught him proper form, but I didn't like teach him no moves or nothing yet. But in the next 2 years, he gonna be hitting mitts. He punched the mitts now, but his hands are still like I said. He three. I ain't putting no boxing gloves on him yet. But yeah, I'm gonna teach my son everything I know. I gotta give it to him. I try to teach everyone around me. 'Cause I studied three forms of martial arts, so I try to teach everybody around me how to handle themselves. And I don't teach it from the actual martial arts. I just took out of it what I felt was useful that can actually work. Because I tell people, if you think you're studying karate and then you go out in the street and you fight someone who knows how to fight, they might not know martial arts, but they know how to fight. That karate stuff ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. You gonna be sitting there. That karate stuff works on people who do karate. I tell people use boxing. Boxing is a great form of self defense or kickboxing, either not the cardio kickboxing, but actual kickboxing. That can translate into street fighting. But that karate, like I do Wing Chun. I try to get in the Wing Chun stance. The only thing someone got to do is rush me. That's all they got to do. So I tell people like, yeah, you put your kids in karate. Just understand that karate works on karate. It don't work in the street. If you got somebody who's skilled who just fought a lot in the street, that stuff ain't gonna work. I done seen people get mangled trying to do a roundhouse kick. It went, you turned around and got lifted in the air and dropped on your neck. But I tell you this: karate builds confidence and balance. It gives you balance too, and it is a good art form to teach you awareness. So I mean, it's better than nothing, you know. But it's after somebody practices it long enough, they understand what works and what don't. You know, they have a clear understanding what works and what don't. Because that's what I did. Like I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't get in a Wing Chun stance. But if you attack me, I'm gonna use a lot of the moves to prevent you from hitting me. I will do that. It teaches discipline and respect. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, that's what I was doing. I get off topic. I mean, but yeah, it teaches. Can you still hear me? Why is this? Yeah, yeah, I'm still on. Okay, I'm just in my YouTube right now, trying to find how to give you a wrench. I just gotta go to your page real quick. I'm a little slow, so don't mind me. But yeah, I think what am I doing? I think karate, like the self discipline, confidence building, and like I said, a lot of kids who into the martial arts, they don't usually them not the kids that's getting bullied. You know them just being honest, those ain't the kids that get bullied. It's the kids who and I think me personally, I think it's not it shouldn't be a luxury. It should be a necessity. Like that should be something um that all people go that form of training. I think all people should go through that. I think all people should have some type of self defense because, like you said, it's not only how to physically handle yourself, but it's also good for discipline and building confidence. I am really bad at this. Why is it taking so long? But it's but like I said, we look at it as a luxury. You know, this is a pastime or a hobby, and it's like no. I think kids need this for the simple fact they won't. Like I said, I don't think those are the kids that get bullied. All right, now type something real quick. Let me see. You should be blue now. I think I did it right. That said, I need to watch videos on how to do all this stuff because I'm still a newbie. You know, I'm still learning a lot of this stuff. There we go. No, thank you. No, thank you. I appreciate you because, like I said, um, I tried to build this platform to connect with people, like-minded people who just wanted to share information and back and forth with me too. I like to understand the way people think because it's just adding more to me. You know, and everybody comes from different walks of life and has different experiences in life. And when I was younger, I didn't have access to a lot of different things that I do now that I'm older. And now that I'm older, I take advantage of it. And one of the things that I didn't have access to is a variety of different people, you know. And now that I do, I like talking to different people to see where they come from, the different life experiences. Um, I mean, I love all different types of food. I do love food, but I get fat after I married my wife because her mama and her like Middle Easterns, all they do is cook, 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 cook. So I done gained a couple pounds that I got to get off. You know, that's all they do is cook. and they cook rice and yeah, they cook, but yeah, life's got so many different things that can bring people joy. The sad thing is that the negative stuff a lot of times overshadows those things. You know, even like when we talk about race, a lot of times people, um, when you think about dealing with another race, the first thing comes to mind: what did this race do to my race? Instead of um, what do you have to offer? Like even you being in Australia, y'all do stuff a lot different. Even y'all toilets go the opposite way, right? I know that was a joke back in the day that we all flush our toilets and go a different way, but just the lifestyle, like I watch a lot of the Discovery Channel. My wife loves the Crocodile Hunter, like Steve Irwin. She was like heartbroken when he died, but just to see the different type of lifestyle, it was always interesting to me because I grew up in the backwoods. Like I grew up catching crayfish and climbing trees and going into the woods, and I was doing all this at like 4 or 5. That was normal to us. And when I moved to the city, it was totally different. It was like a concrete jungle. It was so I never in my life seen so much cement. It's like it blew my mind just living in the city. And so, like I look at other countries and the way people live, and it's interesting. And you know what? I smoke those Black and Miles filter tips, but now I know you probably hear I got this vape, so now I'm vaping. And I did this last year. The only reason I went back to the Black and Mild, I was done smoking them for almost a year, and I don't know what happened. I just started smoking them again. Yeah, the toilets flush the opposite direction. Like just to see that, I think it'd be amazing. I'm actually, like I said, my wife's family, her grandmother, and all her uncles and stuff. Like, her mother, on her mother's side, their sister moved here. It was just her and her sister that moved here. The rest of the family, when they left Iraq, they moved to Australia. So we gonna go, and her dad's family in Australia too. So we planning on come, not yeah, maybe at the end of this year, closer to the end of this year, I should be clear because right now I can't. They told me when I got the shunt put in my head, it might take up anywhere from 12 to 24 months before I can get on an airplane because the I guess the pressure, like even now when it rained, the barometric pressure in the clouds affect my shunt. So if I was to get in the plane, it can affect because I guess it's electronic, but the bariatric pressure affects it. So I can't um I can't fly right now. But I think they say after 2 years I should be able to do it. So I got to go get a checkup this year in a couple weeks, and they go test it to see if it I guess if it settled. I don't know what it's supposed to do, but I'm fortunate to live on top of a mountain, surrounded by nature. See that's what I'm saying. Like growing up, I didn't live on top of a mountain, but it was like what they called it the backwoods because you had to go up a hill and then down a hill, and it was only houses. It was a row of houses on one side of the street, and the other side of the street was like woods, and behind the house was woods. So they called us the backwoods people. But that's how I grew up. And I loved it. I loved it. And then when I moved to Michigan, like I said, it was a concrete jungle, a total, a total different experience. Like my second day living here, I walked to the store and it was like 4 boys. They said, "Are you?" And I'm from a small town, and it's like slow, like so. It's like um, It's not nothing. It's not fast at all. Now it is, but when I was growing up there, it was like slow. Like we used to get stuff probably a year after everybody else got it, and it was like slow. It was mainly older people. It wasn't even. It was younger people, but it was mainly older. Like all my first cousins are older than my mother. Like my grandmother had my mother when she was 49, and I forgot how old she was when she had her first kid. But my first cousins, my mother, a lot of her nieces and nephews are older than her. So I was raised around a lot of older people when I lived there. And then when I moved up here, like I said, the first day, um, yeah, one of my wife's uh, father's sister lives in Flint, and her daughter lives in Flint. Like right out, it was not really Flint; it's more the suburbs of Flint. But the water crisis didn't affect them. Like they water was strict because they was like they in the suburbs of Flint. But her cousin's husband works in Flint, so he a paramedic. So he had when that was going on, he was transporting a lot of people with who got poisoned from the water. And he said for a while he didn't know what was happening. He was just getting calls, people like passing out. He'd get there, people unresponsive, people got like spots and stuff on them, and then like a week later they found out it was the water. But he said for like a whole week it was just, he was just getting crazy calls, people passing out, people being unresponsive. They didn't know what was happening. That was really messed up. That was really bad. No one went to jail for that. That's crazy. That's why I say like um, we can talk about the gun violence here in America, but we don't talk about the what they call white collar crime that a lot of people get away with. We don't talk about that. No, it wasn't a mistake. No, it wasn't a mistake. Oh, let me finish telling you about my second day here. So, my second day here, I was walking to the store and it was like four boys, and they asked me if I was blood or cuz. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know he was talking about the blood gang or the Crip gang. So I'm like blood. No, I'm not bleeding. And cuz like, and I'm like, cuz what? And when I said that, they just jumped on me. I had like four dudes jumping on me, beating me up because I had an American flag shirt with red and blue on it. So they was trying to see what part of the gang, and it's like I don't know nothing about no gang life, but I learned real quick not to wear red and blue. But yeah, that's how different it was. Like I had to watch what I wear. You had to watch what you say, watch what area you go. It was so different. Like especially as a kid. As a kid, I was so used to just being a kid. I wasn't used to. I had to grow up quick living in the city, and you do. Yeah, like this, and like when you really think about it, this is what I tell people about the whole gang thing. Those gangs was created to. Those gangs were created to support the neighborhood. That's why they was created to um to. I mean, the Black Panther Party had just got erased, and they formed groups to protect the neighborhoods from the crooked cops. And now the people who used to protect the neighborhood, now they terrorizing the neighborhood. You know, a lot of the gangbangers, they don't do nothing positive for the neighborhood. And then like you have to grow up at some point and realize that you don't even a lot of those people don't even own a house on their block. So how is it your block? You know, you fighting over colors. You fighting over um I mean, I have family members who lost their life due to violence. You know, I had family members. You know, my brother right now. He hopefully he'll be getting out at the end of the year. He doing Fed time. My little brother, I couldn't even protect him. He doing Fed time, but hopefully he get out by the end of the year. But while he in there right now, he's educating himself. He learning about real estate. He understood what he did wrong, and he's correcting his mistake. And even though society won't give him an opportunity, I will. He don't need them. We put ourselves in positions to help one another. But everybody don't have that luxury. He ain't got to worry about nothing when he get out. I ain't got to, as long as he tell me I'm ready to do the right thing, he good. He ain't got to worry about nothing. But everybody don't have that luxury. Everybody don't get that support. So I can understand why people come out and make the same mistakes. But as an adult, you got to realize you shouldn't risk your life over colors. You shouldn't risk your life over something that's not yours in general. A block is not yours unless you own a house on it. And if you own a house, yes, protect your home. But don't go out there hurting somebody that look like you because of some colors or some some stuff that happened before you was even born. A lot of the gang wars, the people get in them, and the stuff happened before y'all was even born. You really don't know nothing about it. And a lot of times, I understand why people go to the street or go because they don't have that male role model at home. So they end up looking up to one of the street dudes, and that becomes their family. A lot of people get into gangs and stuff because their home life ain't um it's not good. So they feel like the streets can offer them a better opportunity as far as family until they get into something that they can't get out of. Because those same people you dealing with in the street when you go to jail, they made the people helping you. They made the people writing to you. They made the people putting money on your books. It's your family. And then a lot of times people, like even me, like I wasted a portion of my youth running around in the street. I could have been doing something else, you know. So I try to talk. I used to I used to mentor kids. One of the groups I was in, when they found out my wife was non-black, they kicked me out the group. They told me I couldn't be pro-black because my wife not black. So I got kicked out that group. And me and a couple guys who I worked with at the hospital, we started like a Big Brothers program, and it was good for like uh, probably about 4 months, 4 or 5 months. It was going good. I was bringing the kids out. 'Cause at the time, the house I had an acre and a half, so I bring the kids out, let them ride like the four wheelers, and then train them in self defense. And when I was dropping one of them back off, one of the boys asked me, "Well, can my older brother come?" And I'm like, yeah, cool. Like I wasn't in charge of. It was another guy who like selected the kids that we helped, that we mentored. And this kid, I mean, when he said it was his brother, I'm like, the kid, cool, yeah. And the next day when I went to go pick him up, one of the other kids said his brother got a gun and they go rob you. So I didn't take the kid. And after that, I couldn't, like, I was taking these kids to my house, so I stopped. I couldn't do that no more. And it was messed up because the kid who told me, he said, I wish I never told you that because now, I'm suffering. That was helping me. And I felt bad. So I kept bringing him. I went and picked him up and let him come because he did tell me, you know. And that kid right now, he's at He's at a HBCU. Forgot which one he went to. I ain't talked to him in like 3 years. But he should be ready to graduate with his bachelor's degree. He should be, and he when he got accepted, he was happy. He told me, he said, "I appreciate you spending that time with me because I didn't have nobody, So, but yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't bring no kids, my family in that house. At the time, my mom, my sister, like, nah, I can't keep bringing these kids out here and something happen, So it's sad. It's like you can only help people if you're not hurting yourself. Yeah, you can only help people if you're not hurting yourself. Yeah, I mean, I like to. Yeah, I try my best to help people when I can. And when I can't help people, I try. But like I said, you can't help nobody if you hurt yourself. Yeah, you know what? I think he will. Oh no, yeah, my little bro. When he get out, he gonna be on the right path. Just the way he talking is different. What he's studying is different. Um, and then I used to feel guilty because he used to tell me everything he knows he learned from me, and I'm like, I never taught you none of that. Well, I watched you, and I'm like, well, watch me now. Watch what I'm doing now. Look at what I'm doing now. But that he didn't do. And you know what? That's one of the hardest things to learn. Especially when you, I say in my early 30s, uh, I believe that that was my redemption of helping people. That's how I redeemed myself. So I put myself in situations where I could have been hurt. I put myself in situations where people took advantage of me, and I felt because of my past, I deserved it. Like even though I was changing, I was still hurting myself. I was changing because I was doing positive things now, but I didn't understand that I didn't have to be hurt to do positive things. I felt I deserved it because of the pain that I caused other people. So I had to learn the balance. Okay, I can help people without being hurt. Just because, I had a past, don't mean I have to continue to punish myself in the future. I had to learn that. And like I said, it was a tough lesson I had to learn. And I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. Um, I don't take I don't take situations as light as I used to. I had to learn that it's not now. I got a family, so if someone hurts me, if I put myself in a vulnerable position to be hurt, it's not only hurting me; it's hurting my family also. I had to take that into account. It's like it's no instruction manual for life. It's not. I mean, we can say the Bible or any of these other religious texts, these spiritual texts, but at the end of the day, there's no manual. There's no one best way to live life. So, but that's why I believe we need to connect with one another and share information with one another because something that I went through and overcame in my past can help somebody with a situation they may encounter in the future, and vice versa. Um, I've learned so much from other people's mistakes. I learned so much from other people's pain, and I always tell them I appreciate them telling their stories to me because now I have the information and insight to either navigate through it or navigate around it if I encounter it. So I'm always appreciative when people share, and I don't take that. Like I said, I don't take that lightly because like a lot of stuff that I want to share, I can't because one is not just my story. So just out of respect for other people who were involved and other people's situation that I learned from, I can't share those stories, because it's not mine to share. And then a lot of the stuff is like I can't I can't share the story because some things don't have statute of limitations on them. So there's no point of putting myself in. That's the thing about learning is like I don't have to suffer to show that I changed from the person I used to be. I don't have to continue to punish myself to show that I changed. That I believe everyone deserves to be happy. You know, um, and like I said, at one point I didn't believe. Um, I just didn't believe I deserved that. I didn't believe because of the things I did and the things I caused, I deserved happiness. You know, we beat ourselves. I'm my worst critic, my own worst critic. If I do something and I feel I've wronged someone, I will apologize probably 1,000 times because my intention is never to hurt anyone. And if I did it, like I said, I don't like if I did something to hurt someone, I don't look at it like, oh, get over it or it's not that big of a deal. I don't care how small it is. That's not my intent. So I have to apologize. I want to make amends, even because it's not my intent. But even doing that, you can't, just because you apologize, people don't have to accept your apology. I had to learn that, you know. I had to learn, if a person felt like I did something to them, and even if I apologize, they don't have to accept it. But at least I did what I felt was right and apologize. So now I can look at myself in the mirror, and if they accepted it or not, I can be at peace with it. That's why I said there's no instruction manual, and even the information that I share. That's why I like building with people because the information that I share is just my perspective through my experiences, through my observations, through my learning and understanding. And I don't know everything. So people have different experiences than me. They study different things than I do. Um, like talking to Papa Will one day, we was exchanging, we was talking about the same thing, but we had different information about the same thing. So he was filling in pieces that I didn't have. I was filling in pieces that he didn't have. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's how life's supposed to be. If we were supposed to know everything, we wouldn't have specialists. We wouldn't have doctors. We wouldn't have lawyers. We wouldn't even really have. I'm not gonna say that one, but we wouldn't have like doctors, lawyers, dentists. Everybody know how to do it themselves. So it's people, who specialize in things, and we leave. Usually, we leave that to them, and we focus on whatever we choose or determine makes our life better. I wanted to be a nurse anesthetist at one point. Now I like selling life insurance. It's fun. I help people out because most people think life insurance is for when you die. They don't understand the living benefits. And the only way I got into it because I had 3 clients in real estate who bought homes off of their life insurance policies. And I'm like, oh, you can do that because I thought it was just for when you die. They're like, no, you got living benefits. Then I start researching it, and then I found out you get residual income. So I get a check every year for what I did years ago, or last year, or 2 years ago. I still get paid every time the people pay the life insurance bill. I still get paid off of that every year. I get a residual and their health insurance. As long as they keep the health insurance plan with our company, I get paid off of it every year. I get a percentage of it. So that's passive income. But when you sell a house, once the house is sold, it's over with. So that was an easy transition for me. I like making money without making it. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I used to think stuff was. I thought something was wrong with me. Like, why do I feel bad? Like, even when I was younger, like, you play the dozens, you get to roasting somebody, and then they get mad and cry. I used to feel bad. Like, anytime, like when I hurt, even when I was younger, like when I hurt someone, I felt bad. Even if I beat him up, I remember I beat this one boy up. He was crying, and I start holding him like, "Come on, man, you okay? Stop crying." I always felt bad when I hurt people. Even if I got into a fight, I used to feel bad. Like I said, my intent was not. I wasn't. I guess I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised out of anger and pain. I was raised with love. I went through some stuff, but like I said, those first 9 years had a big impact on me even to this day. I always recite what my grandmother said because that was one of my first teachers. It was my grandmother who taught me about life. She taught me the importance of being a man. She couldn't teach me how to be a man, but she taught me the importance of being a man. Women can do that. And you know what? Per, uh, my wife always told me that. I have that. That's one problem I do have, and I don't know if it's my humility, but I have a problem with patting myself on the back. I have a problem with even praising myself, and maybe that's because of the way I used to be. Now I don't do it because I used to be full of myself. I mean, I'm 6 foot. I mean, when I was younger, I'm six. I was 6 foot, 215 pounds with 4% body fat. I did multiple martial arts. I thought I was unstoppable, a tank. I remember this boy made me mad one day, and I grabbed his head and squeezed it until his nose started bleeding. So I didn't. I was kind of full of myself. I just felt like. I guess I felt like Rambo or indestructible. You know, and that was out. That's how I presented myself to other people. But when I went in the house, when I was by myself, I didn't feel like that. I felt like a piece of shit. You know, I did. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror because I knew just even presenting that persona, like I put fear in people's hearts. I had people tell me that, like, bro, you crazy. Something wrong with you. One of my nicknames was WD, Wacko, and then my first name. They called me Wacko, and then they used my first name, Wacko D. They just say that. Because they said I was just unpredictable. One minute I'd be chilling, and the next minute, like, I didn't like bullies though. So I used to, like, if I seen somebody picking with somebody, I take it to a whole nother level. But then I was a bully, even though I guess you can consider I was bullying the bullies, but anyway it go, I was still a bully. And I didn't like that aspect of myself because that's not who I was, and I know it. And I was doing it to fit in. We I can do a whole video on that. Just doing stuff to fit in. because I didn't want to be different because I thought being different was wrong. That's how you taught, right? I mean, you taught being different is not good. Well, that's how it was looked on. With me growing up, it's like you weird. If you're different, you're soft. Um, and like I said, people try to take advantage of you. So it's like you either be the hunter or you be the prey. And I chose to be the hunter because I got tired of being the prey. And being a prey, I mean, that don't guarantee your survival. And see, that's why, like, even now, um, my whole goal, that's why I waited so long in life to have kids, because I wanted them to have a better opportunity than what I did. And my mom gave me a great opportunity. She didn't know nothing about Michigan when we moved up here. And then even after she did learn, she moved us into a good neighborhood. The neighborhood just turned bad. It just turned bad. But when we originally moved there, it was a good neighborhood. We had firefighters and cops on the street. And then, like 4 years later, all that disappeared. Now she got a mortgage she got to pay. So it wasn't just like up and move. But she gave us every opportunity. And it was my choice to, do what I did. I didn't have to. But like I said, I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be down. I wanted to, I just wanted to be part of I guess, the in crowd. And I had to learn, like, even, like, I'm happy I learned that now. I learned that when I was young because, like, even doing this YouTube thing, I see people make that same mistake, wanting to be uh, part of a group. If you can't stand alone, you will get lost in the crowd. You will get lost in the crowd if you're unable to stand alone. So that's why, like I said, I always be cool with people. I don't mind coming together and building with people. I don't mind building a community, a tribe with people. But I know I can stand alone, so I never get lost in the crowd. I'm always be in front of it, and that's just my nature. You know. Oh, my mama, that's my baby. She coming. Oh man, she coming tomorrow. She coming to see her goddaughter. She out on assignment. My mom's a nurse, and she waited for the perfect opportunity when COVID hit to become a traveling nurse. So she has stayed away now on an assignment, and she come back tomorrow and get to meet her granddaughter for the first time face to face. She's seen like pictures and FaceTime and stuff, but I'm my mama's first child. I'm the oldest, and even at 38, I know she listened to my videos because she just send me the number in the morning. How many times she gonna slap my mouth for cussing? So yeah, my lips gonna be sore tomorrow. Yeah, my mama. Yeah, that's my baby. I love my mama to death. I always respect, and I'm a mama's boy. Not in the sense that people say mama's boy, but I am my mother's first child. I am a mama's boy. My mom had me when she was 16. She could have aborted me. She could have gave me away, but she didn't. She kept me, and I appreciate my mother doing that. Every day of my life, I appreciate that. And I pay homage to my mother for that because she didn't have to. She was young, she wasn't ready, but she did it. So, I mean, I always pay homage to my mama. Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful day. It's gonna be a beautiful day tomorrow. I just see my mama light up when she hold her granddaughter. That's gonna be amazing. Like stuff like that, I appreciate the little things like today. I was me and my son wrestling and playing all day, but I bought him because I got like for this, I got a little setup. I got a little soundboard. I got my laptop, I got my mic, and I got my headphones. So that's why I can't do YouTube when he awake because he wants to do it. Like he wants to put the headphones on and play with the computer and do all that. So I bought him a little laptop with a DJ setup. So we was mixing music all day today. He was having a ball. Like stuff like that, the little things in life. Everybody gauge success differently. And like I said, my grandmother raised me until I was 9. And then I moved to Michigan with my mother and my stepfather. So I didn't have my father in my life as a child. So me having my son, I embrace every second of it. You know, I embrace every second of being, raising my kids with my wife, with their mother. And I do everything I can possibly think of and can to make my family comfortable. So, success to me ain't having a big bank account, having a big house, having luxury cars. Success to me is having my family happy and comfortable. That's what success is to me. Everybody gauge it different, but me being able to create a family with a beautiful, loving woman, keeping her happy, keeping my kids happy, healthy, that's success to me. Um, I didn't, everybody gauge it different. And one of my mentors, actually a famous real estate agent in Michigan, but he told me his biggest regret in doing real estate was not spending. He said he did it. He made all this money for his family, but in the midst of him doing that, he didn't spend time with his family. And at a certain point, the money is not what was valued to his wife. His wife wanted him. The money didn't matter. And even though he set out to do this to make money for his family, in the end, it lost him his family. He told me never put the dollar over your family. And I never did. I never always had to find a balance, in between working and spending time with my family. That's why I only do this when they sleep. I think I went live one time when my family was woke. When they woke, I spent time with them. My wife can't do much. She's still recovering from the surgery, but she told me today, like, I don't see how you do this. Just sit down and you don't want to go nowhere, do nothing. I'm like, yeah, but we got a 2-week-old baby. My wife is a go, 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 go. My wife don't sit down. She don't sit down. And it's a good thing because she keep me going because, like I built my kingdom for my liking. Like, I built my home so I'm comfortable and I can entertain here or be entertained here. I don't got to go nowhere. I got a nice yard, got a fire pit, got a family room, got a living room, got a full finished basement. I'm converting the office into a studio. Got a bar down there. I don't even drink, but we got a bar. So, if we want to entertain or do anything, we can do it right here. Why we got to go somewhere? That's my way of thinking. She like, nope, let's go. And we did, like, when we before we had kids, every year, like we used to go to New Orleans every other year, but we traveled. We travel a lot, go a lot of different places. But now after COVID and I can't even really ride in a car for like more than 3 hours. So, but hopefully everything changed after this year and whatever with the pressure and stuff all settled down and I'm able to travel again because I gotta go see my I want to go see my family in Pennsylvania. I ain't been down there in almost 2 years. You know, so it's still it's a lot of stuff. You know, like I said, there's no manual to life. Um, Curveballs and sliders and all those other funky pitches get thrown at you. But every once in a while, you hit a home run. You know, and that's what I did. I hit a home run, and now I got my family to. I got my family, and that, like I said, I didn't grow up with my biological mother and father, but now I get to make sure my kids do. You know, I get to give my son an experience that I didn't have. So I'm truly blessed for that. You know, I'm truly blessed. And then I learned from my father's mistakes. You know, I learned from my mother's mistakes. And hopefully my son learned from my mistakes and he won't make the ones I did. And that's how we become better. You know, we can become better people from learning from our mistakes and the mistakes of our elders and the ones who came before us. That's what we're supposed to do. But unfortunately, people don't. And you see the same mistakes happen generation over generation. But then, like I said, if you look at it, it's because the conversations wasn't had. You know, it was conversations that probably should have been had with me that wasn't. But I was fortunate. I love you use that word as I was reading it as I said it. But I was fortunate to be aware that I had the capability to learn from my father's mistakes, from the people who made mistakes around me. I was fortunate to have that awareness, but it wasn't taught to me. So that's why I want to teach my kids that. No, I don't take nothing for granted, and that's why I don't take nothing for granted. Even you being in here talking to me, you know, I don't take this for granted. I'm grateful and I'm appreciated. I truly am because you don't have to be here. You know, people been coming in, coming out. You've been here rocking with me, and I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. You know, it really do because um, you know this can be you know you. I guess you know I'm a YouTuber. I do videos every day now. It can be deflating sometimes. You know, especially knowing that my intention is good. Like I'm here to talk, to help people, to build with people. You know, do something positive. You know, it can be deflating. Like when I get off here and I scroll through YouTube and then I see other people live and I click on it and hear what they talking about. And it's like, you know, not knocking nobody, but a lot of time it's nothing of value. You know, there you go. There you go. The man, the myth, the legend. Salute Nate. Oh, Platt, you know I appreciate you. You know I appreciate. Like I said, you don't have to be here, but you are, and I'm grateful for that. And I've learned not to take anything for granted because just because you have something today don't mean you'll have it tomorrow. You know, so I've learned to appreciate things that I have, And like I said, you, Nate always come through. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate even him. You know, I appreciate the content that he put out because his content inspires my content a lot. Him talking, him doing what he do, the way he do it, it shows me it can be done. That you can come on this platform and you can speak positivity, and you will eventually get the right people in there to listen to you. That's inspiring because I didn't, like I said, when I click off here, and a lot of times I start going through um, to see who else live, and I click on a video and I see people arguing or fighting, or I just see content that's not uplifting or building towards nothing. And then you see how many people in that chat. It's deflating, and sometimes it's discouraging because it's like um, it's kind of like, well, why am I doing this? Or like I said, me personally, I don't do it for the attention. I don't do it for the clicks and views. But it's like my intention is good. Like I really believe if we come together, we can make changes that will impact the world in a positive manner. I truly believe that. So me doing this and then going out looking at other channels and they doing the opposite, like I said, it's kind of like, is it even worth it? But then, like I said, I click on Nate's channel and there's people there. There's a couple other people. I click on their channel and there's people there. So I'm like, okay, the people are here. If I keep my head down, keep talking positive, keep doing my thing, eventually it'll come. You know. Yeah, Nate, bro. Even though you wasn't in here, when me and Platt in here, we be having how cool is Nate Fest? We be having throw the roses at Nate Fest, bro. Yeah, Nate, you the man, bro. That's why I always put Nate the MF and great because Nate, like I said, bro, I appreciate you. I appreciate your content because it is inspiring to see other people who have similar goals than I do, and that's to wake people up, inform people, and just bring positivity to people. Other people do it in different ways, but I appreciate the way you do it because it's raw. And one day, because like I said, I'm still learning, and I'm still growing, and I'm still understanding myself. But I know it's certain levels of energy that I can't tap into because I don't know how to control it yet. I'm still not in control fully of my passion. And so that's why you catch me more docile like this a lot because when I get passionate, that fire, you know, that flame is uncontrollable sometimes. And for me to stay on the path that I'm going, those flames can't get too wild because I end up burning some shit up. So, but like watching you it is inspiring, and I admire that. And I understand it's obtainable because I see the way you control yourself, how you can go from hot 1 minute and cool back down. You know, but somebody come in trolling, Nate'll light him up, and then he can go back to, I can't do that yet. I'll be on one for probably the rest of the day. Like this MF, I'll be trying to find them and all that. So it's like I just try to avoid all that until, one day I do master that part of my emotions. But like I said, I'm human. And, I tell people, like, I'm still working on myself, even though I'm giving keys and different perspectives on how to do different things or how to look at different things. I'm still a work in progress, as we all are. I believe until the day we die, we should be trying to find new ways to better ourselves. And the more like-minded people we encounter, the more opportunities we develop, more ways, because everybody been through different things and have a different way to look at things. And that's why I believe everyone's opinion is valuable, even if it's a even even if it's a messed up opinion. I say it like that. Even if it's a bad opinion, at least you will understand what not to do or how not to do something. So I always believe people's opinions and insight is valuable, into learning, into growing. You know, Nate, at the beginning, I was talking about, having balance. Too much of being good can be detrimental to you. So I was talking about how, like, where I get the confidence in being positive, and it's a lot of has to do with my training. Like I train in three different martial arts, train with weapons, firearms, and knives, and that gave me the confidence that when negativity do come, that I'm prepared for it, and I no longer have to be afraid. But now I replace that fear with preparation and being prepared. So I was saying, even though I come on here and talk positive all the time, there's another side to that. Um, just being prepared. I want to and like I believe self defense is necessary. It shouldn't be a luxury. I think if we, especially in kids, because I don't think it's the kids who trained in some form of martial arts or self defense to get bullied. I think they present themselves with a different level of confidence, and they can physically handle themselves. So I don't think, and bullies usually look for someone weaker than them anyway. So I think that shouldn't be a luxury anymore. What is it in China is mandatory. I believe it's China. Um, no, it's not China. I think it's North Korea, where it's mandatory that everyone learns a form of martial arts. I think we should be like that, because, like I said, it don't only physically prepare you, but it builds the confidence and it builds the discipline also, and it'll give these kids something else to do too. They won't be in the street doing all this crazy stuff. They'd be disciplined and focused. Yeah, and see that's what I do too, Nate. I don't script nothing. I think of something to talk about and then I do it in real time. But my sister kind of on my head. My sister, she's sending me videos how to get my first 1,000 subscribers, how to get my first 100,000. I'm like, hold on, like, so yeah, she want me, like, my sister. She pushed me though, and I appreciate her for that. So if I don't start implementing some of those strategies she told me about, she gonna be on my head. And she watch all my videos, even if she watch it in the morning. She watch them all and she critique them and send me notes about them. Speak of my angel. Speak of my angel. I was just talking about you. What are you doing up? It's 3 something in the morning. I got to. Yeah. Well, you know what? I gotta. Let me shut this down. I will definitely be back on tomorrow. I appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate Nate. You already know. The kids woke you up. Good. I'm about to call you then. I'm about to call and pick with you for a second. Um, But yeah, I appreciate y'all coming out rocking with me. And if you watching this on playback, do me a favor. Hit the like and hit the subscribe for me. It's free to you, but it means a lot to me. But this is the word, conversation builds nations. And I'm out.